don't know how these cameras, is it on? Okay. Hello everyone of YouTube. So recently I have been getting some comments on my channel about how to do more informational videos, so we're gonna do one of those today. I need to do an oil change on my car, and I'm gonna tell you guys how I do oil changes and show you some tips and tricks to get it done right. So for starters, we're gonna need to take care of some things first. So the number one importantest thing about cars is safety. Cars are very dangerous, cars are very heavy. We're going to be working with hot motor oils. In addition to that, it's not good to get on your skin. So I have my nifty safety goggles here. We're going to put those on real quick. I got some gloves here. We're going to be putting these on my hands to protect myself from the oils. As far as supplies go, I have some Castrol Edge. This is SAE approved 530 oil. So this is a full synthetic, advanced full synthetic motor oil. It's good to run this. I only run this in all of my cars. We also got an oil filter here. I run the Maui filters. So pretty good filter. I have ran a lot of these and I've never had any complaints, so we're going to go with them again. We're also going to need some tools and supplies. So prepped and ready, I have my trusty old jack here. We're going to be using this to jack up the car. Got some jack stands right down there we're going to be using. I got my drain pan. It's all empty and ready to go. I got my tools here. We're going to be using a ratchet today. There's a ratchet. I got some sockets here. I don't know what size the socket is for the drain pan. I believe the filter housing's a 13. That's a 14. There's a 13, there's another 14, there's a 13 around here, that's the guy. Okay, so we're going to be using that for the filter housing. I believe the drain pan is 19 or 17, I don't know, we'll figure that out as we go. This is a torque wrench. This baby right here we're going to be using for the filter housing. I don't really torque the drain plug for these because it has a crushed washer. Let me get that. I'll show you guys that one right now. That's in the filter. So some of these filters come with nifty little bags full of treats in here, and this is one of them. So there it is right there. That's our guy. That little copper guy doolittle right there is going to go on the drain plug. When that gets on the oil pan and tightened down, that little washer is going to crush into place and make it seal. So I'm not too worried about torquing the drain plug like I am the filter housing. This is a gasket for the oil filter housing. We'll get into that in a minute. So I don't really worry about torquing these because that copper washer does it. Just get it nice and tight. So first thing we're going to have to do is get the car jacked up, and I'm going to go do that right now. So if you're looking at the car, we're going to jack it up on that side. That way the oil pan is going to be like this. The drain plug's like down here, so the oil is all going to drain down that way. If you jack it up from this side, the oil pan's going to be like straight like that, and it's going to be harder to get all the oil out. And we set this one down right here for a second. Always remember to use a jack stand, okay? Oh yes. Always remember to use a jack stand like that one. Safety is the number one important thing when working on automobiles, so that will support the weight. Don't use a jack to support the weight of the car because that can fail. We'll get the hood open here. Oh, look at that. So I got some paper towels here. We're going to be using paper towels a bit today. So first thing we're going to do after we jack it up is we're going to take this off right here. So when we drain the oil, air is going to go in here, and it's going to let the oil flow out of the bottom a lot easier. It's not going to be like, you know, when you like pour a water bottle upside down and like lugs like that. It's not going to do that if we take this off. So now that that's off, we're going to drain the oil. There's a 17. I think it's 17. Let's try a 17. Let's get on under here. So if you're looking underneath, that's the oil pan, the one with the fins right here. And that little bolt right there, that's our drain bolt. Oh, look at that. It was a 17. I guessed right. So that's our it's 17 on my car. So we're going to use a 17. That's going to work out very nicely. Where'd my ratchet go? There we go. All right. Let me put on my gloves. All right, I got my gloves on so we don't get dirty and don't get burned. I got my safety glasses on just in case. We got our drain pan. if you have one like this, make sure this is tight. You don't want oil coming out of there. We're gonna undo this guy, otherwise the oil is just gonna pull up in here. This will actually let it go inside there. And this is a little breather. So like the car, when you take the top stuff off, so when you drain it, this will let air into there so it doesn't like make bubbles and stuff. And we're gonna position this guy. We're gonna get down this one. And we're gonna put him right underneath. So I actually like to put mine a little bit to the left there, so when the oil actually comes out, it's gonna come out like that. So it'll go into it. If you put it right underneath, there's a chance that the oil is gonna go like that and miss. So always just put it a little bit like that. Now we're gonna take our ratchet, put it to the right like that to get it off. And we're gonna, there we go. Get that guy nice and loose. Oh, I might have to go again. There we go. Now we're getting it. Oh! Oh wow, this one's longer than I thought. Look at that. Should come off any second now.
Oh boy.
Look at that. Alright. Look at that. So I brought the drain plug with me. So let's go put the new, you see that one right there on the bottom? That's the old one. That's the old grommet. Clean up that mess. So that's it right there. That was the old one. That little copper washer, we used that, so that one's no good anymore. So we're gonna get the new one out. Let me open this up real quick and we'll get the new one out. Come on. There we go. Alright. So there it is. See that? That's the old one. It's all crushed and dirty, and this is the brand new one. So I'm gonna wipe this down with some paper towels real quick. And then we'll put the new one on, and then we'll wait for the oil to drain all the way. There we go, all nice and shiny. And we'll put the new one on. Oh no. There it is. We got it all on there now. So now that'll be the new crush washer for when we put that back into the drain plug here. So now we're going to wait while the oil drains all the way. It's still draining right now. See that? So we got to wait till it's all the way drained out, and then we'll put the drain plug back in, and then we can keep on working. So for the meantime, we still do need to reset the oil maintenance light on this car. I have not reset the maintenance light on it yet, so we're going to go and do that right now, and then we'll change the filter. And by the time the filter is done, the oil should be drained all the way and we can put the plug back in. So I have a wire here. There's my little wire. We're going to go over to the car real quick. I'm going to put that there so I don't lose it. We are gonna put the key in here for a second. See that right there? Oil service, and the bar's almost in the red, so that's not good. So we need to reset the light. So you do that, you turn the key, got the key to second position, so that's out. We go 1 click, 2 clicks there, that's it right there, and then we're gonna go around, out, we're gonna go around up here to this little guy right here. So this is gonna let us reset. So we're gonna, you take him, you unscrew him like that, pull him up. If you look really closely, he's got some numbers right there. So 19 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 7 is that one right there, and then 19 is that guy. So we're going to take our little wire here. We're going to put him in 7 and touch him to 19. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go see if it should have reset it all the way. So Nope, that one didn't do it, so we got to do it again. It's my mistake. I did the wrong one the first time. So we're going to do this one, that one right there, and that one. We're going to hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4. That should do it. Oh boy, that did it. See that? So now our oil bars are all the way reset. So that's the one that did it. So now we can put that cap back on and call it. I'm going to put my gloves back on. So we're going to change this guy right now, which is the oil filter. So we're going to get my gloves back on because it's going to get dirty. We're going to need our 13. This is a 13 millimeter right there. And we're going to go mosey on over here. And that guy's going to go right about there. I'm going to grab my wrench. And we're going to take him. And now we're going to take this guy off right here. He's on there tight. He's on there nice and tight. So we're going to get him off. There it is. I'll set that down for a second. Oh boy. We'll set him right there for now. So that's our cap right there. Take a couple of paper towels here, and we're gonna take him off here. I'm gonna put the camera down for a second here while I do this. There we go. So I got the cap off and I put some paper towels under it to keep all the oil off. Now you guys might have a different one because I have this oil cooler here. So that goes through the cap, so I have a different cap. Your cap might just come right straight off. So now we're going to get this old filter out of here. I need some more paper towels for that one. And I'm going to put the camera down right there so you guys can see what I'm doing here. And we're going to pull the filter up and put a paper towel under it because it's going to get dirty everywhere. Alright, I got my old oil filter here. We're going to go back on this way because I have the oil filter cooler cap on there that has the oil cooler on it. I need to put a little special ring on the new filter so that it does things with the oil flow and makes it work right. So at this point you guys can disregard that from your oil change because mine's a little bit different here. So that's our guy right there. You might not have him on your car because you don't have an oil cooler, but that's okay. You just put the new filter on, but I'm gonna clean this one off real quick and real good, okay? Alright, I got him all clean. I'm gonna put him on the bottom right there. Just like that for the new filter. Now you guys won't be doing this on this part. So you'll basically just take, that's not even on straight, there we go. Let's get that a little bit in there better. So we're just going to take the new filter and we're just going to put it on in there now, just like that. Now under this guy on the bottom here, there's the that gasket I was talking about. Let me go get that gasket. It's in that plastic thing over here. This one right here. So this guy is going to go on the underside of that. So we're going to pull this guy out of its little, because the old one has oil on it and it tends to get all crusted up and it's not going to seal properly like a good new one will. So we're going to take the new one right there. I'm going to go get some flathead real quick right here, and so we can take this is it, we're going to take the old one out using this guy and it'll make it a lot easier. You'll see what I mean in a second here. So we're going to take this guy and we're going to take this guy and we're going to get that old one out just like that. Now it's a good idea to wipe down the underside of that just to get some of the dirty old oil off of that one. And now we're going to take the nice clean new one
and put that guy
right up in there just like that. See that, everybody? So now we're going to put the cap back on just like that, and that's going to sit nicely in there. And now we can take our big long bolt and put that guy down in there. And now we're going to tighten this bad boy down There we go. Alright, now we're going to torque the oil filter housing to spec because I like to torque mine. I like to torque all the bolts that I use in all of my cars. So we're going to take the 13 here, put it on a little bit of an extension. This, where it is, beautiful. There's my torque wrench. We're going to get this guy out. And we're going to set it to about 216 inch-pounds. It's about 18 foot-pounds for you, those of you guys who have foot-pound ones. So 18 foot-pounds, 216 inch-pounds is the specification for this guy. So let me set that one real quick here. There we go. So you see that? That's at 205 right there, and I'm at 11 over 205 is 216. So now we're going to go torque this guy to spec. And we put that right there, and we're going to keep going until we hear the click. There it is. Alright, so that's it. The filter is done. We got our filter on, and I bet right about now is when our oil's done draining. Oh, there's nothing coming out of that now. Alright. So now we're going to take our drain plug here with our new crush washer on it, and we're going to go throw this guy inside the car here in a minute. So there's our drain pan right there, and there's the little hole for it that the oil dribbled out of. So we're going to put the new, and we're going to thread it in by hand just first for a minute here. I'm going to spin this guy in as far as it'll go, and then we'll go and get the wrench real quick. Put our 17 back on the wrench here. I'm gonna run this guy all the way in until he stops. There it is, nice and tight. Now I like to give it a one good, there it is. One good tight, you see that, boys? So it's nice and tight. That crush washer is nice and crushed down on in there, and that's sealing up perfectly. So that's just what we want. Whenever you're adding oil, it's always a good idea to have a good funnel here so you don't get this oil all over everywhere. So we're just going to put a oil funnel on top of that. So I'm going to open this guy up. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take more than just one of these to fill this bad boy up. So we're going to open up this first one and put a full, let's get that on up. Let's poke a hole in that guy. There we go. So now we're going to go add the first 5. Takes more than 5, so we're just going to pour a whole one right down in there. Oh yes. You see that glugging? That's what I mean by having that air hole there. So that's what would have happened to the oil in the drain pan if we didn't take that thing out of there. It would have made a mess all everywhere, just like that one did. We're going to let that drain for a second there while we go get the other one ready, alright? So these cars take up about 6.5 quarts in their in the oil system. So we're going to put about 6.5 in, and then we're going to start it up, and we're going to take a reading and see what we're at. Let's get this other one all nice and opened up here. Let's get this one up out of here. So that's a 5 right there, if you guys can read the level. So we're going to go to about there is where I'm going to fill it to. Bottoms up. Let's see where we're at now. Look at that. That's right about where I wanted it. Good things. That was lucky right there. So now we're going to take our filter out of here. Our funnel, excuse my language. I like to put that back in there so the new oil that's still in there is going to drain into there and we won't make a mess everywhere. Just a tip for you guys. Now we're going to put this cap back on and start it up and see where she's at. Let's fire it up and listen to that baby purr. Ooh. So we're going to let it run for a couple of seconds to get the oil into the filter and all through all the oil passages, and then we're going to check it. So it's been about long enough there. Let's go check the oil here, and we're going to see if I need to add oil or not. So I'm going to take a little bit of paper towels here. We're going to pull the dipstick out once, wipe it clean, put it all the way back in, all the way back out. Look at that. Alright, so on the E36s, that little mark down there is the low. Oh, we're dripping over here. And that little upper one is high. So we're actually right about at the high, which is where we want to be. So I don't need to add any oil. We are good. That is it, folks. The oil change is done. So now we can close the hood and call it a day. Alright, that is it for my oil change video for YouTube for today. I hope some of you guys found this video helpful, and hopefully the tips and tricks that you guys learned today will be helpful in your E36s, because oil change basic maintenance is one of the most critical items you can do to your car to make it running and keeping it run properly. I look forward to making future DIY videos so I can help you guys out with your cars. Thank you guys. Bye.